Hello and welcome, Virgo. This is going to be a zodiac specific reading, as you can tell from the title. So today we've done a little bit something different. I went through and did a blind channeling for each one of the zodiac signs. I took a blank note card, wrote all of the, one each of the symbols for the zodiac signs on each of the cards, and then without looking, meditated on that energy and wrote out some different phrases and thoughts and channelings for your sign. And I hope that they will speak to you and answer some of the clarity that you're looking for as you're coming here today. And then I took all of those, laid them out again blindly, and started going through some various decks and laid out some of the cards in each one of the piles. So you will see many different decks in your spread here. And let's see what they hold in store for you. So Virgo, let's put your card right here. So Virgo, your channeled messages are there if you can screenshot and check those out at your leisure. I'm going to try not to do too much of the interpretation and let the phrases speak to you in your situation. So as I was holding this, I could not get around the idea that I was channeling some type of masculine Capricorn type energy. So whether this is someone you're dealing with or one of your other prominent placements, or somebody that you're dealing with has that prominent placement or this energy, go ahead and take what resonates, leave the rest, and try to mix and mold the words to suit your situation, since it's a very general reading. So again, this masculine Capricorn energy was showing up as an earthly traveler, someone more remembering the old ways, like a trapper, a fur trader, or something, checking their lines to see if they had captured anything. And then I wrote down gypsy, rambler, the Ramblin' Man song came through, sustaining old ways. And then there was this image of becoming accustomed to the eyes having adjusted to the cycles of darkness in one's life and not recognizing. And in the moment, I'm even seeing this as somebody who has color blindness or some type of cataract. But again, don't borrow any sickness or illness or otherwise from this reading. But somebody who is moving perhaps from dynamic sight to a black and white thinking, or from this black and white dry colorless life into something of more dynamism and technicolor. So then the ideas of boredom and freedom versus dynamism and belonging, creating a niche, creating notches, protective shell around the heart, a delicate egg. Cuticle is the membrane that's on a natural egg when it's first laid by a chicken. Keeps the bacteria out, keeps it fresh. And then I was hearing wash away. And having washed away the cuticle, the egg is even more delicate in that regard. So again, now that I've just gone through, and the Capricorn reading was the one just before this because I owed them a reading, and now I just pulled out a random pile, and your message starts out with Capricorn energy. So maybe that reading has something for you, because now that I'm reviewing all of these messages, part of their message, 2 times at least, the egg symbolism came out. Penetration of defenses, change of plans, a destined shift or shift in values even, eye-opening, competition, perhaps, cleaning up one's act, which came out in the Capricorn reading as well. And then I saw a cardinal and I was hearing cardinal sins, and I intended to look that up. I don't know what the cardinal sins are. So if that speaks to you, or if you feel that message has more meaning for you, go ahead and look that up. Then forgiveness, eye to eye with Father and the Father's limitations or one's own limitations. The return of song, singing praises, positive impressions, those we leave and those we get from taking in situations or energy. Being seen as humble and hardworking. Dedication to ritual, some type of habit or some type of routine, some type of repetitive day-to-day obligation perhaps, or balancing efforts, like every morning waking up and having some water first thing type of a thing. Growing deeper roots, the return of light, hearkening back to this, the eyes adjusted to the darkness, and now the return of light. And then I was seeing that the Grinch that stole Christmas, and how the heart at the end grows several sizes and breaks through the measuring tool. So Grinchy heart growth, and then expansion, bringing a warmth and a bringing tears of joy and bubbling up, having made some type of new choice, perhaps to set down roots in some way. So I'll leave those there for you. I need to take a little drink. And let's get into your other messages. We're starting off with the Tao Te Ching, some Art of War messages, some cards from the Archetype deck, and several others here, the mixed shamanic deck, and then some tarot, and ending with Whispers of the Ocean Oracle. So we have here number 45. True perfection seems imperfect, yet it is perfectly itself. True fullness seems empty, yet it is fully present. True straightness seems crooked. True wisdom seems foolish. True art seems artless. The master allows things to happen. She shapes events as they come. She steps out of the way and lets the Tao speak for itself. Yes, so being seen, I'm even hearing being seen and not heard, some type of conflict or surpassing or overestimation of the father complex, and surpassing expectations. You are more than enough. You are plenty. You are enough. Oh my gosh. Really? So there was also that true straightness and true art, being artless. It's like you are a work of art, and maybe shifting your plan, shifting your approach, or shifting something that you were focused extremely on, such as proving yourself or earning your first million by the time you're 21 years old, if you're still that young. You know, there's a difference between unrealistic expectations when those things aren't even aligned with the true, authentic destiny that we are compelled to return to time after time. True art is something maybe that we're born with, that we overlook the gravity of that skill set or something to that effect. And it's like it's reminding me of the young artist whose father wants him to work at a factory or something, and this person is an artist, and it's like, I can't follow your path. I can't walk in your shoes because I have my own feet, my own shoes that are walking my own path. and being able to gently remind ourselves that we're here for our own fulfillment and not to be the shelf that someone places all their expectations upon to live vicariously through us. So, Art of War, Sun Tzu said, disciplined and calm, to await the appearance of disorder and hubbub amongst the enemy. This is the art of retaining self possession. So, this is reminding me, because of the context of what precedes it, of anticipating some type, and it doesn't have to be the father, it doesn't have to be an authority figure, it doesn't have to be a boss or a mentor, but those elements are part of the masculine essence. And so whatever masculine essence or energy is standing in judgment of us, we're anticipating some type of somebody either becoming unhinged or somebody overreacting or somebody having something to say about something that we are happy about, or a new opportunity. It's like we're waiting for the bubble to burst, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Something about feet and shoes. The other side says, keep your cool. Modern life can be stressful and is often full of disorder and hubbub, including disagreements, arguments, or even worse. Keep calm, you may need it. The fastest way to lose focus is to lose your control, or to lose your cool, rather. Take a deep breath and think before acting. If you can keep your wits about you in the midst of a crisis, it will serve you well. So, if somebody's also trying to challenge you so that you become unhinged, or that you become the supposed aggressor in some type of context, this is maybe the situation or dynamic that you're working with. The archetypal cards that are coming out, which seems related, is first the mirror. Let's see, this is 50, 65, 67, 68, 68. What's that? A 5? So, yeah, the mirror. I'm thinking of this poem that one of my friends in spirit used to keep tucked in his wallet, called The Man in the Mirror. And it was talking about how the only one in this life that you really have to please or face is the self in the mirror. And if you can't face yourself in the mirror and look yourself in the eye with healthy self pride, then what have you really got? And that's really what it's about. And that really makes me want to have that bubbling up in my chest, in my heart space, to um, to speak very plainly and clearly that I am my own person, that I have value, that my values have value, and that they're important, and that my niche is waiting for me, and that my success and my peculiarities, um, that those quirks or things are part of my beauty, right? Your beauty, saying this as yourself, and to stand in the mirror and to affirm where you're at and how you're showing up, and to not allow another individual to push you or to pigeonhole you or corner you in any type of embodiment that's not authentic to your process and your path moving forward. Um, so you'll know what that is if that is your story. But we're all in one's image, the image of the parent, the mentor, the boss. It's like recognizing the good and the bad and the duality of the mirroring. It's like they see something in you that they wanted for themselves, that they want to either help you with, save you from, or something like this. And maybe this allows you to soften the blow or the impact that has been perceived in the challenge, the judgment, however aggressively this individual portrays that. Um, we are in sacred contract with the self, with the source, and the reflection in the mirror. And that does I wanted to say unfortunately, but fortunately, it does extend to those people in our environment that are teaching us how to be proud of what we are and who we are and how we are, that there's nothing missing. And I kept thinking, Virgo, about this movie yesterday while I was watering my plants. It's Everything Everywhere All at Once or something like that. It's really crazy, multidimensional kind of comedy drama, very interesting, lots of crazy weird parts. So, but there's this part where the I believe it's the daughter is facing the hero, which is the mother, and she's saying something about, are you still all caught up in the fact that your daughter is gay in this timeline? And it just is like, how silly is that? And the mother kind of stops and she's suddenly aware of how she has unfortunately hampered and harmed the authentic sharing and exchange of divine love between herself and her daughter, that she's been standing in her own way in need for love and connection itself. So take that if you will, leave it if you must. So then we have gnosis. I feel like this is that moment of clarity, of understanding your sacred destiny and how you are no longer even able to deny the pull and the magnetism of what you're here to do and how you are here to be. Oh, and then we have the tier 52. Yes, we had that the tears of joy, and it may be quite painful as well. Sometimes it's like, how can we describe a feeling? And it can sometimes feel like when we're moving from a place of fearful, um, disembodiment, sidestepping, being beside ourselves, not embodying something, and embracing all that we are. It's like that moment of coming back to center feels like home. It feels like truth. It feels like, yes, this. And when we can really embrace that, oh my God, look at what's next. I'm feeling it. Whether this is the person's response or their awareness or your awareness, you could be the mother, you could be the father, you could be the child, you could be the friend. It's witnessing, having an epiphany, moved by this heart space expansion to tears of joy. So somebody has that grinchy heart expansion and it's really washing away. And yeah, see, they're kind of clenching their throat here almost. It's like their heart and throat. It's like, wow, and I'm thinking of another individual who has kind of ostracized herself from her children because of her demanding nature. Um, and these things are things that we all need to recognize, even when we've been or become estranged from our core, when we've tried to be the chameleon and tap dance on eggshells for someone else. It's like, there's this breakthrough moment, and it's definitely a very emotional release happening. And then that's followed by 43, the rattle. The rattle to me is the conjuring. It's the sacred tool that shakes. It's like the rumble of thunder. It's like us just kind of rattling something or like when you have stagnant energy, and I do this in some of my healing sessions where it's like to invigorate the aura, sometimes we can kind of, if snapping is something you can do, or like clap, or I used to keep a bell. I'm starting to get chills and shivers because of the way I'm intentionally creating momentum, and I'm moving and I'm shaking and displacing the air around my entire body, and those minuscule little chakras that I'm not even consciously aware of are responding to the movement of the energy. So snapping, clapping, doing this, any kind of mudras, any type of movement energy can help push this through so that we don't end up keeping and holding space for somebody's salty nature. You know, we can purge that salt through the tears of some people may not change. Some people may not have this grinchy heart expansion, but we can. Our heart can always get bigger because the heart connects with the larger and larger and larger collective, the deeper and deeper psyche and shadow aspects integrating into this divine, perfect center. The penetration of our defenses is like to give somebody this knowledge that they could harm us with, if we chose to allow them to penetrate our defenses. But maybe once we've had this upgrade and this conjuring here, oh beautiful, then we can, then it's like, what could they hurt? When we've embraced it, we have no fear, we have no resistance to that knowledge. We are perfection. True perfection is imperfect. The crooked that is straight, it's like perhaps this other person is divinely placed in whatever salty toxicity or so on that we could label it, in order to push us to straighten our own reserves and straighten our own back and draw back our own shoulders to walk our own path for ourselves. So we have this conjuring energy supporting us, and also the number 3, the 43 and the 3. Now we have the arrow, so aiming the arrow straight and true north. It's like the propulsion of our energy forward. Okay, so then we have the next deck is um, the Akashic Tarot. 2 cards. The 18 up in the air has this hot air balloon. So maybe this represents somebody with a lot of hot air, a lot of steam, and you know, there's this couple here watching it either come in or leave. And it's can also, when you've seen someone off a grief practice, like those environmentally safe balloons or lanterns that you can get, or the not so safe ones, and casting them on the air, or even like there's some kind of ritual that's shown in different depictions that I've seen where they put the lotus with the candle on the lake and let it drift away as they say goodbye to someone who's uh, recently died, to in memory of. There's some kind of imagination space, maybe someone in spirit that you needing to send some type of message to. And I believe that the message too can be that these individuals, once they have passed, I don't believe that most individuals retain any type of egoic connection. I think that there are probably scenarios where that does happen, where people that die kind of get caught up in astral, in some type of resistance energy or karmic energy. I'm not saying that can't happen, but I'm saying that more likely, even when there's more to work on, the individual passes with this eureka understanding, where then they're like, yes, I've been part of my own problem. And if only I had known how much love was here, I would have I would have played my cards differently. You see those lotuses, it's like casting the lotuses off and not having the chance to really have that person to person in the material, but feeling the connection, feeling some type of message from beyond here, the release of the fear and obligation. It's like you are enough. They know that you are enough on some level. I'm hearing that the thief doesn't rob an empty home again. Seven of Forces is the fire energy, balance, and we do have the balance card. I have, after laying out the various decks, every deck is turned upright on the deck or on the desk here, and I'm only going to call them out if one gets called in, and balance is under this deck here. See those two individuals? It very well could be individuals in a same-sex partnership, but it doesn't have to be. It could be soul sisters, sisterhood, mother-daughter, twins, some type of energy like that, transformative, rebalancing energy. And yes, underneath, I do sometimes see this underneath the image as the passing away of individual and the dancing on the grave from the previous reading in Capricorn as well. So balancing that out, it's like the empty desk, the empty library, the scrolls, the room. It's like clearing out, creating paperwork, some type of legal paperwork, perhaps, maybe getting something notarized or having some type of a will and testament, whether written or a trust fund or something like this. Maybe you are dealing with some type of legalities here. It could even be divorce or otherwise, where there are assets at play that are up in the air here, and there are maybe a few individuals waiting for this information to be disseminated or to be set in stone, to come down to earth here with that hot air balloon, waiting for the dust to settle, for the cards to fall. So let's get into more of the tarot here. Balancing what has been up in the air, finding yourself and grounding yourself, getting on the right path. So then we have Page of Shells, intuition and inspiration with this beautiful tree frog. And don't they shift colors sometimes? I don't know. But it's an interesting animal because it's an aquatic animal that lives in trees, right? So it's a versatile embodiment energy. Where do I want to start with this? So Page of Shells, a message of emotion. So hearing some type of news or something, I really want to be sensitive with this, but this can talk about your feelings of grief and processing a relationship here. And then we have 10 of Shells, blessings and well-being. So the page is the messenger, the researcher, and the 10 is the number of completion in the emotional realms. So having gathered some type of nest egg or something here with this pelican energy, again with resourcefulness and wishing somebody well and getting someone's blessing from beyond. Yes, the note, and this is coming directly below this gnosis card. It's like, what do you know? You know that you're getting some type of a message from beyond. I feel from something here about healthy self-pride, and somebody is proud of you and giving your life, your wishes, your path, blessings, and wishing you well. And even if that's not the individual that we were talking about previously, there are this Page of Shells and 10 of Shells. It's like there are 10 well-wishers, there are 10 blessings, and this is creating a new beginning where you're able to really see that aura around the head here, that emanation here. You're able to recognize your glow, your reputation, your ambiance or something. Ooh, and then we have another 10 from the Celtic Dragon deck. Some signs got the Celtic Dragon deck, and some got the cat people tarot. So underneath the deck for the Celtic Dragon, we have 10 of Cups. Look at that happy family, happy home, abundance, the dragon's blessing, rainbows in every cup. I don't know if this is something to do with pride or um, on any level. But I was intending, like, wasn't it just Pride Month in July or something, or maybe it was June? For some, it's every day. But it's like I wanted to show you that because that's where you're heading. But here we have this Ten of Swords, and do you see that that is somewhat of a death card? Her friend, this dragon, has been, I don't know if the dragon has died by some type of war in this situation, because there are 10 swords pointing, or 9 pointing forward and 1 in her hand. Um, yeah, maybe it's even like the words that we can't take back, but she's in a cemetery here. And so it's like the 10 of Swords is here. And again, the 10 reduces to a 1. So this is a new beginning. It's like the suffering, the grief process has its place. And then through that sense of loss, we grow. Oh, I'm running out of time. We've got 9 of Cups coming next, conjuring your success story. The Knight of Cups, coming back together with your innocence and your inner child, connecting with the ancestors perhaps. King of Swords, and then I want to read this, enjoy the journey. Stay present and flexible. Many changes are going on for you and around you. These are not only good but necessary. Bring your awareness into the now rather than focusing on the past or the future. So enjoy the journey. You are this King of Swords, getting a lot of clarity and really calling to your passionate creative mastery here. And you've got a lot to think about and heal about. And um, you're coming forward with a lot of power in the coming phase. So take care of yourself, and my condolences if you are dealing with loss. And please, if you're inspired, do consider hitting some of those buttons for us to help us get the message out. Take care, and until next time.